Mr. Narula alongside me. Could you do that? Could you do what Udo does?
Everybody has their own thing. Udo has his own thing. I have my own thing. I like to sit in a studio with light shining on me. Yes, I would rather do this.
204 all out, absolutely subpar. What have you made of how that innings went?
Some really poor shot selection. I think that's the one thing that can be used to describe, one phrase that can be used to describe South Africa's innings. Shardul Thakur bowled really well, clever changes of pace on that particular pitch. But from South Africa's point of view, you have to think of this match as not part of the series. You cannot think, okay, 4-1, you don't want it to be 5-1, we want to win it 4-2. No, forget all of that. Look at this match from a singular standpoint. We haven't done well, yes, but this is a new start. Almost a new batting lineup, but some of the shot selection, I think Farhan Baradin is the only one I can say that, okay, the shot was on and Jasprit Bumrah took a surprise catch there at third man. Not the best Indian fielder, but he pulled out a ripper there. But apart from that, Hashim Amla didn't really need to play it down leg side. Aiden Markram, poor judgment from him. AB de Villiers, yes, you can't really fault him because he plays like that. But you have to question.
Why can't you fault AB de Villiers?
I just want to say you just have to question that whether there was a need to play that shot because to me, apart from the pink ODI where South Africa had that late assault, that partnership between AB de Villiers and Kaya Zondo was the liveliest bit of batting against Indian spinners in this entire series. So you can, yes, question whether AB de Villiers should have played that shot. Kaya Zondo with a great innings, showing that yes, there is a point to this experimentation from South Africa, but on the whole, Chris Morris, again, that shot wasn't on. So overall, South Africa's batting really let them down once again.
Andile Lukwaya with a good little cameo at the end. I think he would have hoped to have at least batted out the overs. And I guess that's another huge concern for South Africa, not batting out their overs in this series.
No, they haven't. I mean, Kaya Zondo again showed the fact that he can play spin. He's looked busy out there in the middle, but the rest of them, again, not doing that. Chris Morris, again, he just went after. I mean, you can back yourself to hit the spinners, but that hasn't worked out for South Africa throughout this entire series. So, look, this was a pitch that they could have got a big score on. It certainly looked like that. But India came back at them with the same intensity, and South Africa found wanting shot once more.
Some thoughts that this could be a two-pace pitch. Others, again, are saying that South Africa played poor shots. What have you made of how this track is played?
I think it, like you said, there is a bit of slowness to the pitch. It's not your typical Centurion wicket, is it? Something that we have seen throughout this summer that India have been here. But it's different from the pitch where we had the second ODI. Shardul Thakur, I thought, bowled really well in the fact that this is only his third ODI. Hasn't played too much in South Africa, but he figured out that change of pace, was running his fingers over the ball at the time of delivery, foxing the batsman. Hardik Pandya, again, doing the same thing. We've seen him do that in Durban, in Centurion, in the second ODI here, in Port Elizabeth as well. So in that sense, yes, there is something in it for the pacers who can bowl some off-cutters or run their fingers on the ball. Not as much for the spinners, not as much grip perhaps, but they have bowled slower as per the norm. It remains to be seen what South African bowlers can do on this pitch. They don't really have the total to bowl at though.
They don't have the total bowl at, and India need to go just over 4 and over. If you look at how that top order batted, someone always comes to the party with a decent enough knock not to put pressure on the middle order. So you're expecting the same?
Maybe not. At times Virat Kohli has held himself back. We saw certainly in Sri Lanka when they were in experimental mode. The Indian middle order, when I talk about middle order after Virat, they haven't really got the runs. Maybe they might think about sending somebody like Shreyas Iyer up, get his score. He's got starts, but he's not got the big innings. Ajinkya Rahane again in need of some runs. So open, yes, with Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma. But after that, maybe, given it's just 200 runs, maybe Ajinkya Rahane and Shreyas Iyer to pack ahead of Virat Kohli, maybe.
Who's got their nose ahead in terms of that number 4 spot? Because listening to Raina, he is so confident that we haven't seen the best of him and he really wants to come to the party. But Rahane seems to be the one in position at the moment. How do you see that playing out?
Well, Ajinkya Rahane is not part of the T20 squad. Suresh Raina is. If Rahane does bat ahead of Virat Kohli or of Virat Kohli, comes at number 3 but is dismissed cheaply, I know, stranger things have happened. But if that happens and Ajinkya Rahane needs a knock here, that the Indian team or the Indian selectors remember him by, because this is India's last ODI until they play in England, and that is in July, first week of July or second week of July. Till then, they only play T20 cricket. So Ajinkya Rahane needs a performance in ODIs that reminds the selectors and the team management of him. Suresh Raina can change a lot of things. He is a player that India will look up to. Remember, India are also looking for a spin bowling all-rounder. Kedar Jadhav has not been that impressive with the bat. He's done a decent job with the ball, but as a middle order batsman, you're there to score runs first and foremost. Suresh Raina, if he comes back into reckoning, he's somebody who can bat a bit, bowl a bit, has a fantastic record in England, and that's something that you're looking, has a lot of experience as well. So that's something that you're looking forward to when you're building up to a World Cup. So look, Suresh Raina has got a great opportunity ahead of him in the T20 series. But today, it's probably on Ajinkya Rahane and Shreyas Iyer if they are sent out to bat ahead of Virat Kohli.